Tonight from Minute Maid Park in Houston, Texas, it is Game 1 of the 2021 World Series.
This one is a rocket into left and gone. 5-0 Atlanta as Duvall goes deep. What a start to Game 1 for the Braves. And that's into left. Altuve's got another. Astros take Game 2.
Got him looking strike 3. Strikeout number 4 for Ian.
5 innings, no hits.
Driven in the air to left. Back at the wall. It is gone. Back to back. Braves take the lead. 3-2. And Carlos drives this in the left for a base hit. And the Astros have a 9-5 lead.
We didn't want to end here with the celebration here. We wanted to go home. The pressure's still on us because they got the lead. They only have to win 1 and we have to win 2.
Well, we're back where it all started. The Houston Astros picked a fine time to hand the Atlanta Braves their first home loss of the postseason. Looking to stave off elimination once again after that 9-5 win that we just saw in Game 5. For the Braves, they were denied the chance to win their first title in 26 years in front of their home fans. But still, history is on their side. Teams up 3-2 who opened the series on the road in the best-of-7 series. They've gone on to win 61.8% of the time. But if you ask the skippers, they don't care about the numbers. They believe their squads are sitting pretty in Game 6.
The guys were happy, but they weren't like really overjoyed. I mean, they know that we still have work to do. And, like you want to go up there, you want to win 3 and win there. And then, when it didn't happen in Game 1 and then in Game 2, we're behind the 8 ball. Then you change your rally cry to, we just want to get back to the H-Town. We want to go back home. And then now our whole thing is win game 1, which is Game 6, and then put us in a position to win Game 7.
I mean, I always feel good when Max pitches, and we're in a good spot right now with Ian on tab, and got a lot of confidence in Max, and looking forward to watching him go.
Time now to welcome in the host of Nothing Personal, David Samson, joined us here at HQ this morning. David, we heard there from Snicker there, looking for Max Fried to take the ball in Game 6. He has a chance to secure that ring for the ATO, but are we going to see the All-Star break Max or the one we've seen the past 2 postseason starts?
Where is Max? That's the biggest question for Game 6. Which Max are we going to get? Remember, we're talking about a pitcher who is the best pitcher in the entire National League since the All-Star break. And his first 2 postseason starts were the old Max Fried, but the last 2 postseason starts were more like Max Fried. So Brian Snicker went to bed last night, woke up this morning, and said to himself, I'm eating scrambled eggs today. I don't even want to say fried because I'm too concerned that if Max doesn't do it for us tonight, all of a sudden we are in a winner-take-all Game 7 tomorrow, and our advantage that we built and worked so hard for will have been completely vanished.
You see there, of course, the All-Star break 8-2 since in the postseason 1-2. The numbers definitely trending in the wrong direction, but of course, you heard Snicker there. He's positive that he's in a good position with one of his aces here. So if Max can't get it done tonight in Game 6, Game 7, you get, as I say, Mr. Smith from the Matrix, Mr. Anderson. He pitched 5 scoreless innings Friday. How perfectly does it set up for him if he's needed in Game 7?
Well, listen, the Atlanta Braves only have 2 starters because Charlie Morton broke his fibula. So it's nice that they have their 2 starters on regular rest for Game 6 and 7. We talked about it earlier in the series, that if the Braves can survive their bullpen games, which were Games 4 and 5, and somehow make it back to Houston with a 3-2 lead, they'd have to have the advantage. Now, Ian Anderson will have a short leash in Game 7, as will every pitcher on both teams, because it's clearly the last game of the year, and every pitcher is available. Even, believe it or not, even Max Fried will be available tomorrow if required. We've seen that before somewhere. So I believe when you're going into a Game 6 with a 3-2 lead, which we did in 2003, Jack McKeon told the players, tonight is Game 7. We're going with Josh Beckett on short rest. We do not want to get to a Game 7 where any strange thing can happen and we won't get our ring. So look for the Braves to come out tonight playing as though this is the final game of the series.
All right, so the Braves, they have their plan intact. Houston, they have options too with Jose Urquidy, good for game 6 and 7 if available. Then there's Zach Greinke on 3 days rest. So what do you expect from the Astros here if we make it to a game 7?
So they have to really see what happens with Luis Garcia, because Urquidy is available to pitch tonight in bulk if they need it, and I think they'll go to him before they go to Odorizzi. But they'd love to get a little length out of Garcia, but as a rookie, Dusty Baker's been very clear. We're down 3-2. If we see him in any trouble, no matter even if it's the first inning, I don't think he'll have as bad a start as Dylan Lee, going only a third of an inning, but he may not go much longer than that. But if, for whatever reason, miracles happen and Max Fried gives up 7 runs in the first inning and the Astros cruise to victory, you have Urquidy ready to go in game 7. But don't sleep on Zach Greinke. They loved his start in game 4. They loved his 4 innings, and they would not hesitate to start him on short rest in a game 7 either.
Plenty of options there for the Astros, and if we're going to get to a game 7, something needs to happen in game 6 tonight. Give me your prediction. Who's coming out on top? I think we're thinking if we're getting to 7, it has to be the Astros.
That is outstanding. Yeah, when this series started, I had the Braves in 7. When the season started, I had the Braves winning the World Series. So I still am going to stick with Braves in 7. But in order for the Braves to win in 7, they have to lose game 6. I think the Astros come back to Houston. They're happy to be home. They're in their own beds. I see them prevailing, winning the game, and then we'll see what I predict tomorrow.
All right, we'll see what happens. We probably get the 2 best words in sports, game 7, depending on what happens tonight. David Samson, as always, breaking it down for us. Appreciate your time, my friend, here on HQ. Don't forget, nothing personal. You can catch David there as well. Yesterday's word, you'll love this, BBQ, Texas style. Basically because the Astros, of course, smoked the Braves after that 4-0 lead and then blew that and then won. Also breaking down Deshaun Watson, that situation, trade deadline approaching at 4 p.m. Eastern. Will he be on the move? David, as always, covering everything across the sports landscape. Download and give it a follow.
Want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis. No yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.